Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here. Right, this is a special video. I'll try and get on with it as quick as I can, but this is the Bag of Tat video. Yay! Right, Blackpool Expo. Last second on a Sunday there was a box of crap and I thought, why not? Honestly, why not buy it? Why not see if there's a bargain in there to be had? And here is what I got. Oh my god, big bag of tat. Right, I got this from Fair Fight. Well, he's doing Retro Box Room now, but thank you very much. I need to have a look at this and see if I can use it or whatever else on the Xboxes I've got. Oh, goodness. Right, an original Mega Drive. A Mega Drive 2. Not £10, everything on here was supposed to be a fiver. A Dreamcast, with a lid that does not shut. A Dreamcast, where the lid does shut and opens well. Just it's a bit scruffy and mucky. Nintendo GameCube, excuse me, Nintendo GameCube. No part on there. Don't know if any of these work. I'll find out soon enough. And a Nintendo PAL SNES with the button that doesn't come out, and there's a case problems. The case is actually looks like a different colour each one anyway. Also with the Bag of Tat, I got this with all 6 consoles and that, which is the Rumble Pack for the Dreamcast, for £25 I think it was, the whole lot. And I bought one of these, I think it was £3, because I want a memory card for my press pass for it. So, hey, Bag of Tat is going away. So let's get on with doing these. I need to see if all of these work. I have no idea if any of them do, and I need to go through and see what I can actually do with. I don't have a power supply for that, but I'm sure that one of them is 12 volts, one of them is earth, negative, or whatever. Mega Drive. I have the power for that. I don't know whether I have the cable for that. It's looking a bit mucky in there, isn't it? I don't have a Mega Drive 2. There's a side bit missing off that. It looks dirty. It's a gamble. If none of these works, they're going on eBay. The whole lot. The SNES. Looks like power adapter. Doesn't say what voltage, but I'll look into that before I switch this on. 9 volts AC. I'm probably guessing it's the negative way around. Actually, I'm holding this, and pieces are dropping out. But the that does come forward. It's not like the eject button is stuck or anything. It just, nothing's there to push it back up again. I don't actually have a cartridge for this. Oh well, we'll figure that one out in time anyway, so let's put that back in there. Mega Drive I definitely do have everything for anyway. See, because the connections for the TV are completely different. So I can probably check whether or not this actually powers up. Is there a light on here? There isn't actually. And the Dreamcasts are a standard figure 8, so we can see if any of these power up. So let's get the first one in and see if it actually works. Or see if it doesn't work and it's absolutely just trash. And our first guest is the original Mega Drive. I have the cable for this, I have the power supply for this. So this is the original power supply, trust me, it works fine. So plug her in, turn her on. There is a light. Ooh, hold on. I've got the screen behind, which as you know, the screen did something. So let's get a cartridge. If I knew where there was a Mega Drive cartridge, Sonic and Knuckles, that'll do. And the other televisions recognise something. Okay. So at that stage, it doesn't appear that this thing actually works. Power's on, so there's nothing that appears to be doing anything. Let's try one last game, and it's got to be... Where the hell is my Sonic the Hedgehog? There it is. It's got to be the original Sonic. See if this works. Power on. Television clicked. I'm not sure if you heard that. And I have got a black screen. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Cables in the right bit, television's on the right channel. Yeah, okay, so it powers up, but it doesn't work. So let's see what... Okay, it's lookable, shall we say. We'll see what's what. Now, let's get contestant number 2 in. Second contestant is the Mega Drive 2. Now, I've already got a fault with this to start with that I know about. 1, I don't have the AV out. 2, there's no other way of doing this. 3, I think it takes 10 volts. DC 10 volts. I don't have a 10 volt power supply with the right connector. However, it is definitely the opposite way around to what we normally do. The outer shielding on the power supply is the plus and the center part is the earth. I've got 9 volts running through at the moment. I've absolutely nothing. I don't even know if it lights up because I don't have a Mega Drive 2. That must light up. Yeah, it looks like it's clear. I don't really want to try a cartridge in there. Doesn't look that bad inside there. But 9 volts definitely not working. The other power supply from the Mega Drive isn't actually working. So, well, it is working, but it won't fit in there. It's a different connection inside. It's a bit, I think it's 2.5 mil. Oh, actually. That is on there. That is switched on. I'm getting nothing at all. So whether or not it's a different power supply needed, or whether or not there's something amiss on this. Oh, that's really not the right. It's like that's 2.5 and it's 2.1 that's needed. So second one, complete failure. So let's see what happens with number 3. Now here we have the Dreamcast at £45. Now, don't know if that's normal or not. Right, I do have an AV cable for this because I have a Dreamcast that does work, and I was doing a video on that, and I don't know whether or not I should continue with this because I've now got 3 Dreamcasts. Right, let's see what happens when they put the power supply in. It's not switched on the wall anyway. So, ready, on she goes. Oh, we have light. The fan works. I can hear a buzzing noise with the lid down. The button is stuck in, that's why the lid comes up. There's nothing on screen yet, which is kind of concerning. I'm not sure I can smell burning or not. Definitely powering up. Definitely got the fan coming out the side with the cold air coming through. The motor's going around. I can see the motor going around when I open this up. There's nothing on screen again. So, just turn off. Right, that's a bit dodgy on the switch as well then. So that's 3 from 3 don't actually work. Unless my television is set to the wrong settings, then we're absolutely scuppered on 3. So let's plug the other Dreamcast in and see whether or not that one works. Number 4, Dreamcast with a lid that opens when you press it. It looks fine, it looks a bit scraggy, but let's try power. Lights on. Okay. That's the first of 4, who would say, that actually works. So that power's on, that looks fine. I've not got the test to do anyway. So it looks like one of the Dreamcasts definitely works, one of them definitely doesn't. So we'll go on from that. Power off. I'll try power again. Just paint on there anyway. It's like somebody's being close to decorating on this corner. fine. Apart from that gets stuck. Brilliant. So that's 1 out of 4. That works fine. So let's see what happens with the other ones. Contestant number 5 is a Super Nintendo. That doesn't work, but we need to go into it anyway. I have got a 9-volt power supply, which is obviously negative way around. RF out. I don't have a multi-out, but I'm going to have to use the coax anyway. So I'm going to have to try this for power, pause the video, tune in. I know it's a 4-node socket, and that's a coax socket. Yeah, it will work, shall we say. Barely. But it's not a perfect fix, but it will give me something on this. So let's see, to start with, if the power works on. There is a light on. That's actually doesn't open. That's quite weird. So, the piece of plastic will go up and then stop me from opening that. Okay, never knew that about a SNES. I've never had a SNES. Nintendos weren't on my radar growing up anyway, but they are now. So the SNES works. Let me tune the telly in and see if this actually does properly work. And yeah, see if we've got a signal out of this. Right, SNES on. I'm getting a picture through. I haven't got a cartridge. I am assuming this is one of those systems that it will boot straight to the cartridge. There'll be no loading screen. I don't think there were many loading screen ones back in these days anyway, but the TV does seem to tune into something. So I'm classing this one as a partial victory. That's the wrong channel. Yeah, it's a green screen. I've got green, which then the television itself converts back to black now, so it won't actually show anything. But I'm classing that as a partial victory. I mean, the worst case out of the lot of them, and this is only 9 volts anyway, so that's 2 out of 5 so far. So it's looking okay. All I've got left now to do is the GameCube. Let's see if that one works. Right, here we have the Nintendo GameCube. Right. I don't have a power supply for this. I know that the left connector is, because I've got a picture in front of me of it, is the positive, the right hand is the negative. Got 2 wires in there. Please don't try this at home. I'm only doing this because I'm thick. So, I've got my normal power supply, 12 volts. There's no change in adapter on this. 12 volt is positive center, negative outer. So what I need to do is shove that in there and shove that on there. I have no AV cable for this either, so I can't even test whether or not there's anything coming out. So, power. Hello. The fan's on. I think that's me. Yeah, the cable in the centre isn't. Ah. That's definitely me, that. Ah, damn it. There we go. Right. It's powering up, it's moving. I don't have a GameCube disc. I can't see if that's going round at all. Let's line it up. So that one of them is pointing straight up. Still pointing straight up. The head's moving. I can definitely hear the head moving. But maybe the motor on here isn't. So let's put push to push. So far, half of these are working. Granted, I need to get, for this, a game, for this, a power supply, for this, a AV cable. I have nothing that will fit this. That handle on the back, isn't it ridiculous? Let's take your GameCube with you. Possibly the motor doesn't work, unless possibly... Let me try something. Maybe there's a button I can press, see if it's going round. There's definitely lots of crap in here anyway, but the light's on, power's on, we are working. So I'm relatively happy, you know. Right, let's take that out. Don't recommend, but it's needed for me to do this, just to check whether or not things work. Okay, so I've got 3 out of 3. The SNES, the GameCube, and one of the DS's work perfectly. Well, work adequately. I can't check any more than what I have done. The fan goes round. The lens is reading it. These are filthy. So these are definitely good projects. The other 3, I don't know. But what I'm going to do now, while I'm at it, is strip them down and see what they look like inside. So let me get a screwdriver onto this and have a look. Right, apparently a Nintendo GameCube is a pain in the arse to open. There are 4 screws, they're there, but they are kind of that sort of shape. But I haven't got the exact size bit to open this up. Some people say use your extension cable, extension bar, which is probably one of those, and the exact size of these bits do work on it. Apparently it fits perfectly, but it doesn't. I can't get any purchase at all on it to get it out. Or whether or not these are the mini ones, and I need the normal standard size, so they actually are that big, but I can't get in there, so I'll have to work on that on another date. But it does work, so 1 out of 6. Well, that is 1 out of 6, but there's 3 of them that work. But I've changed my type now to the SNES. So let's get this one open. There's 4 screws either side. There's one in there, which is one of the Nintendo ones. So it's like a hex key, but it's not even on. So it's off anyway. So it's just 2 Phillips screws. Looks like it's rounded. Oh, these aren't as easy as I thought. I'm hoping they'd be straight in, straight out. But, no. Not better. Let's see if anything's damaged in here. That's all this is for, anyway. Let me have a magnet. Give me a magnet. That's them done. Right, let's have a look inside a SNES. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's them pieces again. Right, so that's there. That doesn't appear to want to push up. There's another piece of the case there. The other 2 pieces are here. Ooh. Okay. Is that all the SNES is? I suppose it's disappointing when you actually see something like this, and that's all it is. I mean, the bottom case is... Well, the bottom case is fine, isn't it? It's just that front part which is a little bit yellowed. It's a top case I need. Ah, there it is. So when you get to the power supply, power switch, it pushes this part over and locks into place. So this isn't actually that bad. So if that goes that and there, if that goes in there, that goes there, then where's the spring? Does that actually just go in there? No, that don't go in there. No. Okay, so technically this isn't that bad. I'm guessing that inside there's a massive spring holding this up. I'll have to look into this because I don't know about the SNES enough to do this. It looks like it probably would go there. But then, what's behind that to hold that, just make that spring up? Cartridge will go, oh okay, maybe it doesn't then. Maybe the cartridge pushes in and pushes up, then pushes the power button up. Maybe it's meant to do that when there's nothing in. Okay, so technically this actually isn't in bad condition. This one's a bit of a clean and a new top case, which is easily, well, possibly easily findable. I'm sure I could find something with less pieces broke on it. If all the pieces were there, I could possibly stick them back in, but that corner's completely missing, so that's not even an option. So a top case needed for that, and then we'll work on something at a later date. So what's next? Ah, GameCube. I haven't actually been inside one of these GameCubes yet, so I'll do these side by side. 1, 2, 3, and I need to take the modem off. It's a strange thing with the modem. How it's there, but it's not. Both exactly the same look like. Yeah. So I can take one out definitely. I can't take the other 3 out because I haven't got an extension cable. I'd like to know why that won't come back up before we finish this video. Let me get a better screwdriver to get inside there, inside these 3, and we'll get these cracked open. Right, both are unscrewed. Right, so the working one not, yeah, because of the paint on it. This one isn't working. So let's open the lid. Okay. Now, there's the mechanism for the button. Plastic is there. So why isn't that going back? I've got a funny feeling this is just gunked up. There you go. Yeah. There we go. It's just gunked up. It just needs a damn good clean. And that button part there was just stuck. So no other major faults needed to do with that part. However, it doesn't seem to power on. So possibly fuse gone on there in the power supply. Caps look fine, they're not domed. LED looks rather like a peachy LED. I've watched Dr. Armstrong's video he posted about the 2 that he, well, the Dreamcast he got. And as they're very similar, he got one that worked, I got one that worked and one that doesn't. I can't see why I shouldn't be able to get this up and running. Might just be a fuse. It said on his, I think that resistor, which looks like a resistor, is actually a fuse for the connectors on the front. Now, he had one here. If you look inside the actual controller, there's 2 pieces of metal on the bottom, and then there are 3 on the top for connections. The 2 on the bottom have actually bent inwards, so it wouldn't actually work. So all of these look like they're all there. Whether or not this actually does work or not, I've not actually plugged a controller into the other one yet that I've got. So all in all at the moment, this looks like it's just used, and I'd probably bet good money that that fuse is blown. It's a standard fuse, not like a resistor fuse like he had on there. You know, it just says R1. It's quite weird. Okay, let's take the other one out. And maybe I should take this and the other, these 2 and the other one. Oh, hello. Just get rid of both the lids a second. Left and right, keep them all together. That's different. This actually weighs a lot more, but the battery on the front is massively different. I thought these had been bought at the same time. Now, Dr. Armstrong was saying about if you need to mod these by taking this out, taking the drive out, and then putting in a disk drive, a SD card drive, you need one that says 3.3 volts, 3.3 volts, and then the one on the back, which is that, and that. So technically, all 3 of these, my 2 and Dr. A's 1, should be easily moddable. Whether or not this actually works, the power supply might have gone on this side, I don't know, but there's no water damage, there's no obvious damage, it just looks a bit clean. Well, clean, needs to have a good clean. The batteries obviously won't work, because they've been there forever. So, a nice little project to do, to plod along with. Okay. Now, we've determined the SNES works fine. The ribbon cable's been... It's not in good condition, a couple of folds on there, whether or not it's to do with anything in particular. We'll move. It's free enough to move. Yeah. So I'm going to put the lids back on these and screw these back together, because they're projects for the future anyway. I'm not bothered about doing them now. They're going to be done whenever, if ever I get round to them. It's nice to have something I can just drop back on. Let me get the Mega Drives and we can see if we can open those and see one of them definitely works, the other one definitely doesn't. But let's have a look inside those. Because actually, the reason why I'm thinking this is that I think Dan from Retro Recollections did say that one of them got water damage. You could see on this side, I think it might have been the Mega Drive 2. Which, if it is, it's a shame because I haven't got a Mega Drive 2. But let's see what we can do with them. Now, Mega Drive 1, Mega Drive 2. Mega Drive 2, Mega Drive 1, hello, hi. Right, I've already cheated. I took the 4 screws out from the Mega Drive 2, each corner, 6 screws here for the Mega Drive 1. So, let's see what's in there. Remember from last time, there is the cable, which is there for the light, for the LED. Which is soldered in place, right, okay, so I need to take that off of there. Which I can't because that goes in the opposite way. Okay, so this looks... Okay, pretty much just... It's not water damage, this one, definitely, because it's very fluffy. So let me get that to that side because the cable's there. So that's actually not bad. It definitely does work. It's just... It's well... well used. Oh, toothbrush. Makes it look a billion times better without even trying much. The old pot needs some oil on it. That's all the volume controller is. Yeah, the metalwork's looking a little bit... Oh, hello. Right. There's an ice cream lolly stick in the back of here. Now, how could that have got in? To get there... How the hell would I have got that in? I wouldn't have. That's been put in there because somebody else has been in. So why is that there then? To stop vibrations? Stop anything like that? The screws, look, that looks a little bit silvered. See, the reason why they use black screws is simple. When you get in there with a screwdriver, you're going to take some of that paint off. Simple as that. So why is that? See, there's even rust on there, on the RF shielding, where that wooden stick was. It looks okay inside. Just wants a damn good clean. So I think that's pretty good for the Mega Drive. Mega Drive 2. I've never been inside one of these. I don't know. Okay, so at least I've got rid of the problem with having the LED in the wrong place. Instead of putting there and then cabling it in, they could have put an LED actually on that board and made it point straight up with a little bit of plastic which should diffuse it into where it's supposed to be. Right. I mean, this could be just a simple case of it just doesn't need I haven't got a proper power supply for it. And that's the reset button, that's the power button. I don't see why this shouldn't. It's a little bit dark on these sections here anyway for the expansion port. Nothing that, a fiberglass pen and a bit of time standing there scribbing won't bring back up to some sort of decent level. You can tell already it's actually looking shinier than what she did before. It's still got the original BF sticker on it, so it's probably the production person holder. No, I don't think this is too bad either. There's some caps inside there. No, I think this may be a fixable. See, it's not that good inside here. It's kind of, I get the idea that it might be water damage because there's a corrosion on the contacts for the joysticks, joypads, whatever things, whatever. But the circuit board doesn't look that bad. There's no corrosion inside the slot. The caps I can see look okay. I think the reason why it doesn't work is because the adapter is a bit filthy, and so is the TV AV out, but I haven't got a cable for that. So what I'm going to do is, look at the gap there. Why is there a gap there on something? Why make something that big and you've got a gap? I think these are doable. These are very doable as projects. So I don't think I'm going to have any problems with these. It's in the right place. So I'm going to screw these back up and, yeah, give you my evaluation of what I think of all this lot. Before I do an evaluation, there's two other things I need to test first anyway. The Dreamcast Rumble Pack, and I have got a controller for this. Oh no! Where did I put that? It is somewhere. But the memory card, I had a funny feeling because they were saying at Expo, make sure you take the batteries out. It's a CR2032. It's going to corrode, yada yada yada. But luckily, somebody's already took it out, so that's really good. Now, all I need to do is find my Dreamcast controller. I'm going to set it up and then see if these actually work. I have a game, which is Tomb Raider Revelation, Last Revelation. Where would I be if I was a Dreamcast controller? Give me a minute. Right, I was just testing before I put it on to show you guys. I'd put a battery in, I'm fine, happy, close it up, and it didn't seem to work, the memory card, and foolishly enough, it actually says there that it takes 2. So there you go, that's the beep saying it's happy, it's working. Now this is the Dreamcast that I bought separate. Oh, hello. Right, I've already tested anyway, so in it goes. Power on. I've got Tomb Raider already on here, which I want to take out anyway. So I want to set the clock on that. So this Dreamcast is the one I bought on eBay before I even got the Bag of Tat. I've set the date on here. Now you can see on here everything works fine. Once I go past the date, everything's fine. That's with time of recording. File. Let's try the file, shall we? Let's do something with that while I'm just in the way. There's nothing actually on here. Why am I zoomed in so much? Oh, it's not that close to TV. Right, it's actually there. One day I will learn to do this properly. Right, adjust the memory card's clock. No memory card found. Oh dear. That's better. Right, it found itself. On the cards. Right, okay. So that should have now given me that. And I've never seen, honestly, this is the first time with the Dreamcast. I've not actually seen one of these before and played one. But the display comes up with that, it's right good. So I'll close the lid. Please wait while the disc is being checked. The ROM pack is there. I don't know if that works or not. The screen's now gone off to wherever. Sega, produced by under license from Sega Enterprise. Powered by Windows. Yeah, Windows CE. But what I thought was amazing is the display on this. I mean, it's not the most tactile, and I'm wanting to... Oh, there you go. Change to Lara Croft. I want 2 triggers. But it doesn't give me 2 triggers. So, Tomb Raider. And this is Last Revelations. This is the 4th one? 3rd one? 4th one? Yeah, I think it's the 4th one. Now, what I need to do is... Controller's being... What? The controller has been removed. What? Yeah, whatever. What I need to do is check whether or not all these ports work. I think they do. So every time we unplug, it turns off. Right, let me take out the game. Shouldn't really throw that on there. And the disc I've got for the Dreamcast. I'm going to test the other two before I finish this video anyway. Okay. Yep, that works fine. 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 Right, that is considering that this is the one I bought on eBay, and I know it worked. I just need to clean it up and faff around with it. I'll dig out the other two, we'll test those, see if they work fine as well. First up is the one that I know definitely works. The unit showing, that's booted up, and it comes on to wanting the date selected, so control in, can hear it working, select. I'm not bothered about setting the date on that just yet. I don't even know if the battery works. Okay, so that's working fine. Disc in, please well, disc is being checked. Okay. Please insert game disc. Let me turn it off and then back on again. Like I said, I was in no illusion that any of these would work. So far, 3 work. Well, power on at least, anyway. Boot up the Dreamcast logo. It doesn't want to play the disc. So obviously there's something wrong with the drive. The drive hasn't actually gone round. Let me put the label facing forward. It is going around. Perhaps the lens covered in gunk. I don't recommend prodding your lens. This is only a CD. This is what I didn't realise at the time. It is a CD. It's not a DVD. It's not a Blu-ray. But it might be just clogged up with gunk, so the lens can't go closer and further away from the lens, or from on a disc. So it might not be as bad as. Ports 2 works, ports 3 works, ports 4 works. Right, the disk drive doesn't work on this at all. It's still asking for game, insert the disc. So the drive doesn't work, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. I can easily swap that out if the drive on the other one works. Now I know, look at that, I'm good, me heart. Yes, well, small things amuse my small mind anyway. So this one I think the fuse has already gone anyway. Oh, hello. Oh, I think it did power up. It's just not showing anything on the screen. Right. So let's try a little test, put the socket in there. It's not coming out with anything at all. Ah, yes it is. So let me imagine that everything works, and let me get on pressing the X, pressing the start, to see whether or not it sets the clock. Port 2 doesn't seem to want to work anything. I can hear the drive working. It's reading it. It's definitely reading it. Port 3 works. Port 4 works. Why don't port 2 work? Port 2 is now working. Right, let's see what happens. I've not got anything on the screen. It's black. If it loads Tomb Raider, it will come up with Lara Croft on there. So that might mean that the disk drive works, but the AV chip or whatever it is for the output might even just be the socket that's a little bit broken. Come on, I dare to work. So far 3.5 works. Power off and power back on again. Come on, Dreamcast. I can hear it. It's whizzing and it's moving. So the disc is at least moving and the lens is moving as well. Okay. I can't believe somebody actually put a price tag on it for £45. Come on. Show me Lara Croft. Show me Lara Croft. That's my only clue that this might work. It would have been on by now, wouldn't it? It feels strange that you can't press that to click as well. The rumble pack doesn't seem to want to work, but it might not be that sort of game. But that's fine. I mean, this was thrown in with everything anyway, so if it doesn't work, there's not much on there that can go wrong anyway. I think it's just a couple of connectors and a motor. But I think some people actually said that the rumble pack is sometimes unplayable. It just doesn't really want to. It's not intuitive to when you're playing. Now, that should have been on by now anyway, if it had given me anything to do with... Ooh, that word. You can hear it going. The drive works. I must have pressed it too early when it was still booting up. So, it looks like I can take out the disk drive on here and put it in the other one. That leaves me with a Dreamcast that doesn't really seem to want to work, or actually show anything. So, yeah, we have a 3.5. Well, class is a 3.5 that work perfectly. I can't see the Mega Drive 2 having much of a problems to get properly working, because I need a power supply. The GameCube, I don't know. GameCube power's on, I haven't got a cable for it, so I don't know. Let's see what happens with it. Most of them just seem to work fine. So for 25 quid, yeah, probably not. I can't watch it, play on television, I can't play it on that. But apart from that, £25 for 6 consoles. This is for all 6 of these. This is not for 1, 2, or whatever. This is all 6 of these. Ignore the controller for a minute. Let's just get out of the way. This is all 6 of these, and the rumble pack. 25 quid, and these are going to be projects for me for the next few months or so anyway. So yeah, I think I've scored rather well on that one, especially with the SNES. The SNES does work and come on. I just need a controller and I need a joypad. So my shopping list for payday this month is going to be a pain in the backside. But yeah, and the top, only a top section as well. Bottom section is absolutely spot on. So this might have been somebody else's project, and this is what's left of it, but it does work. So there we go. Absolute. Actually, it's not tat. My bag of tat has turned to a bag of gold. So yeah, successful testing of the tat. So thanks for watching. I so enjoyed Blackpool this year. I should have done the full weekend last year, but it was absolutely brilliant to see everybody buy this sort of stuff and have a good laugh with people. Do recommend for next year, go to Blackpool. If you see something that's just a load of crap, buy it. Why not? What's the worst can happen? Worst can happen, it doesn't work. That's it. But these do. So I'm happier than anything that they all work. So anyway, end of the waffle. Thanks for watching. I hope you've learned that not all things are going to be the end when they break. We've got projects here we can faff with and play with. So anyway, leave it to it. I'll see you in a new video. Bye bye for now. And a final bit of tat in the bag. There's an umbrella that Neil gave me from Retro Man Cave. Does it open? I think he had a bag of these. I don't know why he had a bag of these. Oh well. Great minds and all that.